10 things you must work on. Every day. Stoicism. Every day we are faced with countless distractions, pressures, and uncertainties. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or lose sight of what's truly important. But what if I told you that the power to shape your life and cultivate inner peace lies within you? In this video from Stoic in Your Life, we'll dive deeper into 10 daily practices rooted in Stoic philosophy that can help you build a life of fulfillment, focus, and emotional balance. These aren't just tips, they're transformative habits that will help you become the best version of yourself, no matter what life throws at you. Are you ready to take the first step toward mastering your mind and confidently tackling life's challenges? As always, I have a challenge for you. If you're truly committed to building resilience and growth, watch this video until the end. Leave a comment with the title Stoic in Your Life and show the world that we are ready to grow every day. Now, let's start our Stoic journey, starting with the first practice you should adopt today. Number 1. Limit your desires. In today's world, it often feels like we're constantly chasing after something more, whether it's a bigger paycheck, a nicer car, or the perfect image on social media. We're told that happiness is just one more purchase, one more achievement away. But what if true happiness isn't about acquiring more, but about desiring less? This core principle of Stoicism offers a radical shift in perspective that can bring us greater peace and contentment. The Stoics, philosophers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, believe that human suffering often arises from our insatiable desires and our need for things beyond our control. We often think that happiness lies in getting more things or achieving more, but the Stoics taught that it's the constant craving for more that actually causes our suffering. In fact, limiting our desires is one of the most powerful ways to find peace in our lives. "He who is not a good servant will not be a good master," said Epictetus. To master our own happiness, we must first master our desires. How do we do this? It's not about rejecting everything we want or need, but about focusing on what's truly essential. We must learn to distinguish between what brings us genuine joy and what only feeds our fleeting desires. For example, think about how many things we accumulate in the name of happiness: new gadgets, clothes, or experiences. These things might bring us temporary pleasure, but they don't provide lasting satisfaction. In fact, the more we accumulate, the more we want. And as Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This is where Stoic philosophy has something powerful to offer us in the modern world. By shifting our focus from external achievements and possessions to inner contentment, we can find deeper, more enduring fulfillment. In our consumer-driven culture, it's easy to get caught up in the endless chase for more. But when we practice limiting our desires, we can begin to break free from this cycle. Instead of constantly looking for happiness in things, we turn inward and cultivate gratitude for what we already have. This is a key tenet of modern Stoicism, learning to find peace in the present moment, regardless of what we lack or what society tells us we should want. As Seneca put it, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Take a moment to think about it. What do you truly need to be happy? Is it the next iPhone, or a designer outfit, or is it something more fundamental, like good health, meaningful relationships, or a sense of purpose? The more we reflect on this, the more we realize that the things we truly value, our well-being, our connections, and our peace of mind, are not things that can be bought. These are the things that bring us real joy, and they often cost us very little. The Stoics believed that when we focus on what's truly important, we can experience a deep sense of contentment that transcends material possessions. In practical terms, limiting desires doesn't mean we abandon all pleasures, but rather that we develop a more mindful approach to what we want. We begin to recognize that the pursuit of things outside our control, the approval of others, status symbols, or possessions, doesn't bring lasting happiness. Instead, we begin to prioritize experiences that nourish our souls, moments of connection, personal growth, and inner peace. When we stop measuring our happiness by what we lack, we start to appreciate what we already have. This shift in mindset is especially important in the modern world, where social media and advertising constantly bombard us with messages about what we should want. How often do you scroll through Instagram and feel that pressure to have the perfect life, the perfect body, the perfect career? It's easy to forget that these curated images often hide the struggles and imperfections of real life. By practicing Stoic mindfulness, we can stop comparing ourselves to others and start valuing our unique path. Remember, the greatest wealth is to live content with little, as Socrates wisely said. The benefits of limiting our desires go beyond just emotional well-being. They can also have a profound impact on our mental health. By learning to want less, we reduce the stress, anxiety, and fear of missing out, FOMO, that often plague our daily lives. When we stop striving for things we don't need, we experience less pressure, less frustration, and more peace of mind. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but with practice, we can start to change our relationship with desire. It's about focusing on what really matters: the people we love, the work we find fulfilling, and the life we're living right now. As you reflect on this idea, I encourage you to ask yourself, what are the desires in your life that are driving you? Are they based on your true needs, or are they just fleeting wants, shaped by external pressures? Can you begin to reduce the hold these desires have over you? By taking a step back and evaluating what truly brings you joy, you might be surprised at how much less you need to feel fulfilled. This doesn't mean living in deprivation, but rather finding freedom from the constant pursuit of things that don't serve you. So how do you start practicing this in your own life? Begin by identifying one or two desires that are weighing you down. Perhaps it's the pressure to keep up with trends, to buy the latest gadgets, or to impress others with your accomplishments. How would your life change if you let go of some of these desires? The more you practice limiting your desires, the more you'll discover that your happiness is not dependent on external things, but on your own ability to appreciate the present moment and find contentment in what you already have. Modern Stoicism is all about learning to live in harmony with life as it is, rather than constantly striving for something more. By practicing the art of limiting desires, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of want and dissatisfaction. We begin to find peace in the present, satisfaction in simplicity, and true freedom in letting go of the things that no longer serve us. As you go about your day, consider how you might apply this wisdom to your own life. What desires could you reduce today? What might you gain by desiring less? The answers, I believe, will lead you toward a life of greater fulfillment, inner peace, and true happiness. Number 2, do not let fear control you. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is to not let fear control you. Fear is something that every human experiences, but in Stoic philosophy, it's not something to avoid or suppress. It's something to understand and conquer. The Stoics, including great minds like Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca, understood that fear is often the result of our own thoughts. It's a mental construct, something that often exists only in our minds, fueled by imagination, uncertainty, and our tendency to anticipate worst-case scenarios. In truth, fear often has little basis in reality. Instead of letting fear paralyze us, the Stoics taught us to confront it directly and approach it rationally. Fear, when examined closely, can reveal itself as an illusion. Most of the time, the things we fear aren't as terrifying as we think, and they're not as inevitable as we imagine. The Stoics believed that by facing fear head-on, we could not only reduce its power over us but also grow stronger and more resilient. This is one of the Stoic secrets. Fear is not something we should avoid, but something we must understand and control. When fear arises, we have the power to choose how we respond to it. Instead of being ruled by irrational thoughts and worst-case scenarios, we can take a step back and analyze what we're truly afraid of. Ask yourself, what's the real risk? What's the worst that could happen and how likely is it? Often when we break down our fears logically, we realize that they are not as dangerous or insurmountable as they seemed. This kind of rational thinking helps us regain control over our actions and choices. The Stoics suggest that we should not avoid the things we fear, but instead, face them with courage and clarity. The more we do this, the less power fear has over us, and the more we grow in confidence and resilience. Another important Stoic lesson is that much of our fear stems from worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. We fear the future, the possibility of failure, rejection, or loss. Yet these outcomes are not guaranteed, and they are often beyond our control. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The thing that upsets us is not what happens to us, but how we think about what happens." Fear of the unknown is a waste of energy. We cannot predict the future, and worrying about it is pointless. Instead, we should focus on the present moment, where we have the power to act. By shifting our attention from what we can't control, the future, to what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and responses, we gain a sense of peace and clarity. In practice, this might mean taking action despite feeling afraid, whether it's starting a new project, having a tough conversation, or pursuing a goal that seems daunting. Fear can stop us from doing the things that matter most in life, but when we confront it, we discover that it's not as intimidating as we first thought. Each time we act despite fear, we build courage, and over time, fear begins to lose its grip on us. This is the essence of the Stoic approach. Fear no longer has the power to paralyze us. Instead, it becomes a motivator to act. Think about a time in your life when you've been paralyzed by fear. Perhaps you were afraid of failing, of being rejected, or of making a mistake. You might have hesitated, procrastinated, or even avoided the challenge altogether. But then, at some point, you faced the fear head-on. You took action, even if it was uncomfortable, and you learned something valuable from the experience. The fear didn't disappear overnight, but you gained confidence by facing it. The more you face your fears, the less control they have over you. The Stoics also teach us that fear often comes from trying to control things that are outside of our influence. We cannot control other people's actions, and we cannot control the future. But we do have control over our own responses. This is a critical realization. When we stop trying to control what is uncontrollable, we free ourselves from unnecessary fear and frustration. The Stoic mindset encourages us to focus on the things we can control: our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes. When we do this, fear no longer has the power to hold us back. We can respond with calmness, clarity, and resilience, regardless of external circumstances. Consider the example of an entrepreneur starting a new business. In the beginning, fear of failure can be overwhelming. The entrepreneur might worry about losing money, being rejected, or facing obstacles along the way. But instead of letting these fears stop them, they confront them. They acknowledge that failure is a possibility but not a certainty. They focus on what they can control, planning, adapting, and learning from mistakes. Over time, their fear decreases because they realize that failure is just a part of the journey, not the end of it. This is how fear, when faced with courage, can transform into a source of motivation and growth. Fear is a natural part of the human experience, but it doesn't have to control our lives. The Stoics believe that by practicing courage and self-discipline, we could train ourselves to face fear with calmness and rationality. The more we confront fear, the more we build mental and emotional strength. The Stoic secret is to see fear not as something to avoid, but as something to understand and master. By shifting our focus from the things we can't control to the things we can, we take back our power and stop letting fear dictate our choices. As you move forward in life, remember that fear will always be present. But rather than being controlled by it, you can use it as an opportunity to grow. Each time you face your fears, you become stronger and more resilient. The Stoic lesson is clear. Fear is not an enemy, but a teacher. It's not something to run from, but something to learn from. By practicing courage, reflection, and focus, you can overcome fear and live a life of purpose and fulfillment. The key is to take action, no matter how afraid you feel, and trust that by doing so, you will grow in ways you never imagined. Number 3. Focus on what's important. Modern Stoicism encourages us to sharpen our focus on what truly matters in life, urging us to distinguish between the things we can control and those that are beyond our grasp. In a world filled with distractions, it's all too easy to get sidetracked by the trivial and lose sight of the goals that would actually bring us meaning and fulfillment. Ancient Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus constantly reminded themselves that we can't control external events, but we can control how we respond to them. The modern world is more distracted than ever. Endless notifications, the constant pull of social media, and the pressure of competing priorities. Yet Stoicism offers a clear framework to navigate through this noise by teaching us to invest our time, energy, and resources only into those things that truly align with our values and contribute to our personal growth. Instead of chasing after superficial pleasures or getting caught in the whirlpool of societal expectations, Stoics encourage us to prioritize what genuinely matters: our health, our relationships, and our continuous pursuit of wisdom. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it, wrote Seneca, pointing out that time is the one resource that, once lost, is never regained. By focusing on what truly matters, we make the most of the time we have. One essential Stoic practice is to choose our battles wisely. This involves evaluating whether something is truly worth our attention. In our modern lives, we are often overwhelmed by a cascade of small, inconsequential events that pull us in different directions. Stoicism teaches us to step back and ask ourselves, is this something I can control? Does it contribute to my long-term goals? Is it in alignment with my values? If not, the Stoic response is simple: let it go. As Epictetus reminds us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This isn't about material wealth, but about mental clarity and emotional balance. Focusing on what's important means deliberately choosing where we direct our mental and emotional energy, so we're not constantly reacting to things outside our control. It's about cultivating a mindset of intentionality, which leads to more deliberate actions, better decisions, and a stronger sense of purpose. In the age of constant distractions, many of us fall into the trap of mindlessly consuming media, whether it's scrolling through social media or binge-watching TV shows that add little value to our lives. The Stoic perspective encourages us to eliminate these time wasters and refocus our attention on the things that nourish our minds and souls. As we learn to disengage from distractions, we create space for deeper engagement with the things that matter: personal development, meaningful relationships, and the pursuit of knowledge. This doesn't mean we need to reject modern comforts entirely, but it does mean being more mindful of how we use our time. To live intentionally means to actively choose what we give our energy to, rather than letting our lives be dictated by external circumstances. As we become more focused on what truly matters, we naturally become more efficient and less overwhelmed. Stoicism teaches that it's not about doing more, but about doing what matters more. When we align our actions with our values and goals, we create a sense of order and direction that cuts through the chaos of modern life. In turn, this gives us a deeper sense of purpose because the things we dedicate ourselves to shape our character and ultimately our future. A life well lived is a life in which our daily actions are in harmony with our deepest values. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The challenges we face and the distractions that come our way are opportunities for growth if we learn to turn them into stepping stones toward what's truly important. By continually asking ourselves whether our actions are aligned with what we value most, we cultivate clarity and focus. We reduce the noise and clutter of modern life and make space for things that truly nourish us, whether it's time spent with loved ones, reading, learning, or simply reflecting on our thoughts. Stoicism provides a valuable lens through which we can assess our daily choices, guiding us toward a life that is not just busy but meaningful. With this focus, we make each day count, creating a life filled with purpose, intention, and fulfillment. The more we embrace this Stoic mindset, the more we realize that true success isn't measured by external achievements, but by how well we live in alignment with our core values. In the words of Seneca, "No man was ever wise by chance. It is through deliberate effort, intentional focus, and the commitment to what truly matters that we shape not only our present but our future as well." Have you ever watched content from Stoic in your life before? If you have, comment, "I've seen the content below." If you're new here, comment, "I'm new and will follow regularly." Let's explore Stoic philosophy together and learn how to apply it to modern life for growth and happiness. And remember, stick around till the end of the video. There's more to come, especially the last 3 points, which might just surprise you. Number 4. Embrace challenges. Life is full of challenges, some small, some monumental, but one thing is certain: they're inevitable. And yet, how often do we try to avoid them or resist them with all our might? How many times have we wished for an easy path, a smooth ride, a life without obstacles? But here's the thing: challenges aren't just unavoidable, they are essential. They shape us, refine us, and ultimately help us grow into the people we're meant to be. This is the core message of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that adversity is not something to fear or resent, but something to embrace. They saw challenges not as setbacks, but as opportunities. Opportunities to test our virtues, build strength, and deepen our wisdom. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way, Marcus Aurelius famously said. So, the next time you face a challenge, instead of seeing it as an obstacle, ask yourself, how can this help me grow? This mindset shift is transformative. It turns every difficulty, every roadblock into a lesson. Whether it's a tough project at work, a personal struggle with health, or an unexpected financial setback, the Stoics would encourage us to approach these situations not with fear, frustration, or resentment, but with openness and resilience. The fact is, hardship is a natural part of life's journey. We cannot avoid it, and we shouldn't want to. The Stoics viewed adversity as a tool for personal growth. Suffering arises from trying to avoid suffering, Seneca wisely observed. If we constantly run from difficulty, we never learn how to handle it when it inevitably shows up. So why not face it head-on and use it as an opportunity to sharpen our character? Think about a time when you faced something difficult. How did you react? Did you shy away from it? Or did you lean into it and try to grow from the experience? When you look back now, can you see how that challenge helped shape you into a stronger, wiser person? That's the power of adversity. Each challenge is an opportunity to develop qualities like patience, perseverance, and resilience. Every difficult moment can teach us something valuable, if we're open to learning. This is not to say that facing challenges is easy. It's often anything but. But the Stoic mindset encourages us to reframe our thinking. Rather than seeing obstacles as threats, we should see them as tests. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body, Seneca wrote. When we push ourselves through hardship, we become mentally tougher, more adaptable, and better equipped to handle whatever life throws our way. Embracing challenges also means being willing to take risks and step outside of our comfort zones. Modern Stoicism teaches that growth doesn't happen when we're simply going through the motions. It happens when we push ourselves to try new things, take on new challenges, and confront our fears. This doesn't mean taking reckless risks, but rather choosing to face the unknown with courage, knowing that every step forward is an opportunity to learn and grow. Have you ever taken a risk that paid off? Or maybe, have you ever taken a risk that didn't go the way you expected, but in the end, taught you something invaluable? That's the essence of Stoic resilience. It's not about avoiding failure, but about understanding that failure, like success, is part of the journey, and that we can always learn from both. The more we embrace challenges, the more we develop mental toughness. This is a quality that is absolutely essential for navigating life's inevitable ups and downs. Life is unpredictable and we can't control everything, but we can control how we respond. When we shift our focus from avoiding hardship to using it as an opportunity for growth, we unlock a deeper, more lasting sense of strength. Imagine the confidence you would have if you knew, deep down, that you could handle anything life throws your way. That's the kind of inner strength the Stoics talked about. A man is not good because of his success, but because of his endurance and hardship, Epictetus taught. And when we endure hardship with grace and resilience, we not only grow stronger ourselves, but also inspire others to do the same. The next time you encounter a challenge, whether big or small, ask yourself, how can I use this to grow? What can I learn from this experience? Instead of avoiding it, lean into it. Embrace it. It might not be easy, but it will make you stronger. It will help you build the kind of character and resilience that will carry you through not just this challenge, but every challenge that lies ahead. In a world where we often feel pressured to have everything figured out and to avoid failure at all costs, Stoicism offers a refreshing perspective. Failure is not the end, it's part of the process. It's how we learn. When you begin to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles, you will start to see your life transform. You will become more adaptable, more resilient, and more capable of facing life's difficulties with confidence. This shift in mindset doesn't happen overnight. It takes practice. But remember, the Stoics didn't just preach these ideas, they lived them. They embraced hardship as a way to grow stronger, and they believed that anyone could do the same. The next time you face adversity, don't shrink from it. Embrace it with the knowledge that through it you will become better, wiser, and stronger than you were before. Number 5. Improve your time management. Time is one of the few things in life that we can never get back, making it perhaps the most valuable resource we have. The Stoics understood this well and placed great importance on using time wisely. According to Stoicism, time management is not just about productivity, it's about living with intention, purpose, and mindfulness. Every moment of our lives is a choice, and how we use it shapes our future. The Stoics believed that although we can't control the events that happen to us, we have full control over how we spend our time. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the rush of life, often finding ourselves distracted or busy without a clear purpose. Think about your daily routine for a moment. How often do you feel like you're just going through the motions? Are you using your time in alignment with your deepest values and long-term goals? If you're like most people, it's easy to fall into a pattern of mindless consumption, checking emails, scrolling through social media, or engaging in tasks that don't really move you forward. The Stoics remind us that every hour we spend on distractions is an hour we'll never get back. Time spent without purpose is time wasted. The key to Stoic time management is intentionality. Instead of filling your day with busy work, focus on what truly matters. The Stoics encourage us to prioritize personal growth, meaningful relationships, and work that aligns with our highest goals. In practical terms, this means setting clear, actionable goals, protecting your time with firm boundaries, and eliminating distractions that derail your focus. The Stoic secret here is not to do more, but to do what matters most. By dedicating our time to activities that support our values, we create lives that are both productive and fulfilling. Reflecting regularly on how we're spending our time is another important Stoic practice. By pausing and asking ourselves if our daily actions are moving us closer to our goals, we prevent ourselves from falling into the trap of busyness without purpose. This reflection helps us course correct before we waste too much time on things that won't bring us lasting satisfaction. For instance, do you often feel overwhelmed by the number of tasks on your to-do list? The Stoics would suggest that you consider whether all of those tasks are really necessary. Perhaps it's time to eliminate the things that don't add value to your life. Time management, according to Stoicism, is about ensuring that every moment counts. This means using time for reflection, learning, and meaningful connection with others. The Stoics believed that life is too short to waste on trivial activities or mindless consumption. Instead, we should approach each moment with the understanding that time is precious. Think about the way you spend your days. Are you spending enough time on activities that help you grow and bring you joy? Or are you caught up in things that don't truly matter? The Stoic practice of mindful time management can have a profound effect on our stress levels as well. When we live intentionally, we don't feel the pressure of being overwhelmed by tasks. Instead, we focus on doing what's most important, which brings us greater peace and fulfillment. By mastering time management, we're not just more productive, we're more focused on what's truly meaningful in life. Consider the example of Tim Ferriss, entrepreneur and author of The 4-Hour Workweek. Ferriss is famous for his approach to time management, built on the idea of eliminating distractions and focusing on a few tasks that truly have an impact. His philosophy, which echoes the Stoic mindset, is about spending time only on what adds value to your life and letting go of the rest. By prioritizing the important over the urgent, Ferriss has been able to create a lifestyle that aligns with his values, one where he has more time for what matters most. What would your life look like if you managed your time like this? Imagine how different your days might feel if you focused only on what truly mattered. If you stopped letting distractions steal your time, and instead spent your hours on meaningful work, personal growth, and nurturing relationships. The Stoic approach to time management is about taking control of your time so that it aligns with your deepest goals and values. In a world filled with constant distractions and demands on our attention, the Stoic practice of time management offers a way to regain focus and purpose. By regularly reflecting on how we spend our time, setting clear goals, and eliminating things that don't serve us, we can create lives that are not only more productive, but also more meaningful. Time management isn't just about being efficient, it's about being intentional. And when we manage our time with intention, we begin to live more fully and with greater purpose. The lesson from Stoicism is clear. Time is precious, and how we use it matters. By making time for what truly matters, whether that's personal growth, meaningful work, or relationships, we create lives that are aligned with our values and bring us closer to our highest aspirations. The Stoic secret to time management is simple, yet powerful. Live with intention, focus on what truly matters, and don't waste a moment on what doesn't. Number 6. Build and improve your knowledge. In Stoic philosophy, knowledge is not an end in itself, but a tool for personal growth and wisdom. Unlike the modern obsession with accumulating facts, the Stoics believed that true wisdom comes from applying what we learn to improve our daily lives. Knowledge, therefore, is a lifelong journey, not a destination. What does not kill me makes me stronger, Nietzsche once said, echoing the Stoic idea that wisdom is forged through experience and reflection. Modern Stoicism teaches us that learning should not be for intellectual curiosity alone, but as a way to grow morally and make better decisions. Every day presents an opportunity to learn and improve, whether through reading, engaging in meaningful conversations, or reflecting on our actions. The Stoics emphasized that knowledge must be applied to our lives. Only then does it become truly valuable. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with information, much of it superficial or irrelevant. Stoicism, however, calls for a more focused and intentional approach to learning. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This highlights that learning should be proactive, not passive. It's about engaging with the challenges of life, drawing lessons from them, and applying those insights to become better people. In our fast-paced, information-heavy world, modern Stoicism encourages us to engage deeply with what we learn, whether it's through books, dialogue, or personal experiences, with the ultimate goal of becoming wiser and more virtuous. The Stoics also placed great emphasis on practical knowledge, understanding how to apply concepts in the real world. Learning about ethics, philosophy, or psychology is meaningless if it doesn't help us live better, more effective lives. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This reflects the Stoic belief that knowledge is meant to help us handle life's challenges with grace and clarity. Whether it's managing stress at work, maintaining healthy relationships, or making wise financial decisions, the goal is to use knowledge to navigate real-world challenges more effectively. Practical knowledge makes us more competent and capable, and helps us live in alignment with our values. Another key aspect of Stoic learning is self-awareness. It's not enough to simply acquire information. We must also question our assumptions and challenge our beliefs. The Stoics taught that true wisdom comes not from simply accepting what we're told, but from testing ideas and reflecting on our own limitations. True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future, Seneca wrote, reminding us that knowledge isn't just about solving problems. It's about understanding ourselves and our place in the world. This process of self-examination allows us to grow intellectually and emotionally, and helps us make wiser choices. For the Stoics, knowledge is only valuable if it is put into action. As they saw it, wisdom is not something you accumulate for its own sake. It's something you live by. This is a fundamental aspect of Stoicism. What we learn must influence how we act. The more we understand, the better we can navigate life's complexities. But if we fail to apply that knowledge, it becomes meaningless. Knowledge is power, said Francis Bacon, but only when it is actively used to shape our actions. Stoic philosophy therefore calls us to embody the wisdom we acquire, transforming learning into a way of life. In the modern world, where distraction is rampant and superficial engagement with knowledge is common, Stoicism offers a refreshing reminder. The true value of learning is not in how much we know, but in how we use that knowledge to live a more intentional, virtuous life. As we acquire knowledge, we must remember its ultimate purpose: to help us grow, to guide our decisions, and to shape our character. He who has a reason to live can bear almost any how, Nietzsche famously said, reminding us that the pursuit of knowledge becomes most powerful when it serves a greater purpose: wisdom, integrity, and the desire to lead a life of virtue. Modern Stoicism teaches that every piece of knowledge, whether it's a life lesson learned the hard way or an insight gained through study, has the potential to shape a more meaningful, purposeful life. The Stoic pursuit of knowledge is about using what we learn to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and ultimately to become better people. Have you ever embraced a challenge that seemed difficult at first, but later helped you grow stronger? Comment number 1 if you faced a challenge that shaped you, or yes, if you're ready to embrace challenges and use them as opportunities for growth. And don't forget to stay till the end of the video. There are some powerful insights coming up, especially the last 3, which might surprise you. Number 7. Never neglect your finances. When you think about money, how do you feel? Is it a source of stress, insecurity, or perhaps even shame? Or do you feel confident, knowing that you're managing your finances in a way that supports your values and long-term goals? The truth is, most of us can relate to feeling overwhelmed or distracted by financial concerns. But the Stoics offer a refreshing approach that can help us take control and live more peacefully. In modern Stoicism, financial management isn't about hoarding wealth or seeking luxury. It's about living with discipline, practicing moderation, and ensuring money doesn't control you. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, said Epictetus. The key idea here is that financial stability gives us the freedom to focus on what truly matters, rather than constantly chasing after more. If we live within our means and manage our finances wisely, we reduce stress and create space for what really brings us happiness. The Stoics didn't view money as inherently bad, but they did believe that we should avoid being consumed by the pursuit of wealth. In fact, they emphasized that wealth is just a tool. It's not an end goal. When money becomes the focus of our lives, it takes away from our ability to live a meaningful life. No man is free who is not master of himself, Seneca wrote, and this applies just as much to our finances as it does to our emotions and actions. We don't need to give up all comforts, but we do need to avoid the trap of letting money dictate our choices or values. Instead of constantly striving for more or indulging in instant gratification, Stoicism encourages us to focus on long-term financial health. By budgeting, saving, and investing in things that align with our true values, we can avoid impulsive spending and create lasting peace. Think about the things you spend money on. How often do you find yourself buying something just for the sake of it, or to keep up with others? It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor, said Seneca. When we start to recognize that happiness doesn't come from accumulating more things, we can shift our focus from the fleeting satisfaction of new purchases to what truly enriches our lives. Managing your finances wisely means spending on things that align with your core values, not on things that will just give you temporary pleasure. Practicing self-control with money is a way to cultivate discipline and create a life that supports your long-term well-being, rather than falling prey to short-term desires. On a practical level, living by Stoic principles might involve things like creating a budget, setting up an emergency savings fund, or investing in your education or personal development. These are the things that will provide lasting value, even if they don't give instant gratification. Budgeting is an excellent way to practice moderation, ensuring that you don't spend more than you earn and that you're preparing for the future. Saving money gives you the freedom to weather unexpected challenges without panic or fear. And investing, whether in your health, relationships, or career, ensures that your resources are helping you build a meaningful and fulfilling life. The Stoic approach to finances also teaches us the importance of mental freedom. When we manage our money with discipline, we free ourselves from the anxiety and stress that come with financial instability. The more we align our financial habits with our values, the more peace of mind we can create. Instead of being burdened by debt or the fear of not having enough, we can move through life with a sense of calm and purpose. A good character is not formed in a week or a month. It is formed little by little, day by day, said Heraclitus. The same applies to financial health. It takes time and consistency to build good habits, but the rewards are worth it. More security, less stress, and the freedom to focus on what really matters. As you reflect on your own financial habits, ask yourself, are my financial choices helping or hindering my long-term goals? Are you living within your means, or are you constantly trying to keep up with others? Take a moment to consider how you might adjust your spending, saving, or investing in a way that aligns with your true values and long-term aspirations. The Stoic way is about creating a life that reflects your priorities, not one shaped by the constant pursuit of wealth or external approval. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, reminds Epictetus. When you practice moderation and discipline with your finances, you give yourself the freedom to live according to your values, without the stress of financial instability. Managing your finances is about more than just balancing a budget. It's about cultivating a mindset of self-control, discipline, and intentionality. The Stoics knew that when we manage money wisely, we can focus more on the things that truly matter: our relationships, our personal growth, and our contribution to the greater good. Financial freedom in the Stoic sense doesn't come from accumulating wealth. It comes from mastering our desires and using our resources to build a life that's in harmony with our values. So, as you work on your finances each day, remember, it's not about how much you have, but how wisely you use it. The greatest wealth is to live content with little, said Socrates. By managing your finances with discipline, you create a life of greater peace, security, and freedom. And Number 8. Focus on personal development. Personal development is a lifelong journey that requires constant commitment and self-reflection. According to Stoic philosophy, self-improvement is not a destination, but a continuous process that demands attention and effort every single day. The Stoics believed that it was our duty to strive for moral and intellectual growth, to become the best version of ourselves in the face of challenges, and to persistently work toward becoming wise, virtuous, and self-sufficient. Self-improvement is seen not just as a personal ambition, but as an essential part of living a fulfilled and purposeful life. The Stoic focus on personal development is grounded in the belief that growth happens incrementally, through small, steady changes rather than sudden breakthroughs. Success is not defined by grand moments of achievement, but by the daily choices we make to improve our character, actions, and thoughts. One of the most crucial aspects of personal development is recognizing that it takes time. Often, we live in a society that glorifies immediate success and instant gratification, but true growth comes from persistence. The Stoics teach that we should not expect quick results, but instead embrace the process of self-improvement, accepting setbacks as part of the journey. Failure, they argue, is an essential stepping stone toward progress. Each small failure is an opportunity to learn, grow, and adapt. Just as a seed requires time to grow into a strong tree, our personal development requires patience, consistency, and resilience. A prime example of this long-term commitment to personal development can be seen in the life of Albert Einstein. Before his groundbreaking work on relativity, Einstein spent years immersed in research and study. His success was not the result of one sudden insight, but rather the product of years of persistent effort. His example shows that personal growth is often invisible in the moment. It is the cumulative effect of steady, focused work over time. In Stoic philosophy, personal development is also about embracing discomfort. Growth often requires stepping outside of our comfort zones and facing challenges that push us to grow. The Stoics believed that the more we expose ourselves to difficult situations, whether physical, emotional, or intellectual, the stronger and more capable we become. These moments of discomfort allow us to build resilience, strengthen our character, and sharpen our ability to handle future challenges with grace and fortitude. To support your personal development, it's essential to establish clear goals. Define what areas of your life you want to improve, whether it's your emotional intelligence, your physical health, or your mental clarity. By setting specific goals and tracking your progress, you create a roadmap for your growth, which helps keep you motivated and focused. Equally important is self-awareness. To improve yourself, you must first understand yourself. This means regularly reflecting on your actions, thoughts, and habits to identify areas for growth and improvement. Daily habits are another powerful tool for personal development. Whether it's journaling, meditation, exercise, or reading, these habits can compound over time to produce significant positive change. Consistently dedicating time each day to nurturing your mind and body ensures that you are always growing and evolving. The Stoics encourage us to view failure not as a setback, but as an integral part of the development process. In fact, failure is often the best teacher. Each failure provides valuable insights into what needs to be improved, and it helps you refine your approach. By accepting that failure is inevitable but temporary, you can maintain your resilience and stay focused on the larger goal of self-improvement. Number 9. Work on your life purpose. Having a clear sense of purpose is one of the most profound elements of Stoic philosophy. Without purpose, life can feel directionless, and we may find ourselves chasing after superficial goals like wealth, fame, or status, pursuits that rarely lead to lasting fulfillment. A sense of purpose acts as a compass, guiding our decisions, actions, and priorities, helping us navigate life's uncertainties and challenges. According to Stoicism, each person has a unique role in life, and finding that role is essential for achieving peace and contentment. When we act in alignment with our purpose, we find a deeper sense of satisfaction, as our efforts are driven by something greater than external validation. Living with purpose means living intentionally. It requires us to define what truly matters to us, and ensure that our daily actions reflect those values. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus emphasized that we should not be swayed by external forces or fleeting desires, but instead live in accordance with our inner sense of purpose. By focusing on what truly matters, we avoid distractions and temptations that lead us off course. channeling our energy into meaningful endeavors that contribute to the greater good. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, offers a powerful example of purpose in action. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl argues that even in the most horrific circumstances, we can find meaning. During his time in concentration camps, Frankl observed that those who had a clear purpose, whether it was the hope of reuniting with loved ones or helping others, were more likely to survive than those without a sense of purpose. Frankl's experience shows that purpose is not just a tool for coping, it is a source of strength that helps us endure even the greatest suffering. For the Stoics, purpose is not defined by conventional success, wealth, fame, or achievements, but by the deeper sense of meaning that comes from living virtuously and contributing to the welfare of others. By aligning our purpose with the well-being of others, we move beyond selfish pursuits, creating a life that is more fulfilling and impactful. This perspective on purpose leads to a life rooted in integrity, wisdom, and ethical action. A strong sense of purpose fuels resilience. When we face challenges or setbacks, purpose helps us stay focused and motivated. Rather than seeing obstacles as insurmountable, we view them as opportunities for growth and learning. With purpose as our anchor, we are able to push through hardships, knowing that they are part of a greater journey. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties, but about continuing to move forward despite them. However, the purpose is not a one-time discovery. It requires ongoing alignment. Defining a purpose is important, but it must be revisited regularly. Each day we must ensure that our actions reflect our values and goals. Stoic philosophers emphasize the importance of this daily alignment, reminding us that living with intention requires constant reflection. By regularly reflecting on our purpose, we can recalibrate when necessary, ensuring that we remain focused on what truly matters. A life of purpose often involves contributing to others. Stoics believe that we are all part of a greater whole, and our purpose is often to serve others. Whether through acts of kindness, leadership, or wisdom, we find meaning not only in our own lives but also in how we help others. By focusing on the well-being of those around us, we create a life that is not only fulfilling for us but also meaningful for others. Finally, purpose can evolve over time. As we grow, our understanding of what is meaningful may change. The Stoics taught that we should remain flexible, allowing our purpose to adapt as we learn more about ourselves and the world. This flexibility ensures that we are not bound by outdated goals, but are open to new possibilities that align with our evolving sense of meaning. It is through this adaptability that we continue to grow and deepen our sense of purpose throughout our lives. A clear sense of purpose is not merely a philosophical ideal, but a practical guide for living a fulfilling and meaningful life. Stoic philosophy teaches us that purpose is the foundation for all other aspects of life. By defining our purpose, living intentionally, and aligning our actions with our values, we avoid distractions and find deeper satisfaction. Purpose provides the resilience to face adversity, the clarity to make decisions, and the strength to keep moving forward. By contributing to the welfare of others and remaining open to the evolution of our purpose, we create lives that are not only personally meaningful, but also impactful. The Stoic approach to purpose offers a timeless framework for leading a life that is truly worth living. Have you ever thought about how your financial habits fit into your long-term goals? Leave a comment saying, "I'm ready," if you're committed to managing your finances intentionally, or "Let's improve" if you're starting to make changes today. And don't forget to watch the video until the end. There's a helpful tip at the end that might actually surprise you. Number 10. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. It is not merely an emotion that comes and goes, but rather a conscious choice to appreciate what we have, regardless of the circumstances. In a world that often emphasizes what we lack or what we desire, practicing gratitude can be a powerful antidote. The Stoics believed that by focusing on the blessings we have in the present moment, we can cultivate a sense of inner peace and contentment that is independent of external circumstances. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, frequently reminded himself to appreciate the simple privilege of being alive, highlighting the importance of recognizing the value of each moment. The practice of gratitude can be transformative because it shifts our perspective. By regularly reflecting on what we are thankful for, we move away from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. We begin to see life not as a series of disappointments or unfulfilled desires, but as a rich tapestry of experiences, relationships, and opportunities. Even in times of hardship, we can find things to be grateful for, and this helps us build resilience in the face of adversity. A simple but effective way to practice gratitude is to keep a gratitude journal. Each day, write down things you are thankful for, no matter how small. This could be as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a kind gesture from a friend, or the beauty of nature. Over time, this practice trains your mind to focus on the positive aspects of life, helping you to see the world through a lens of appreciation rather than criticism or lack. Gratitude can also have a profound impact on relationships. When we express gratitude toward others, it strengthens our bonds and deepens our connections. Showing appreciation makes others feel valued, and this creates a positive feedback loop of kindness and goodwill. Whether it's thanking a colleague for their help or expressing gratitude to a loved one for their support, small acts of appreciation can significantly enhance our relationships. In addition to enhancing relationships, gratitude brings us back to the present moment. Often we become so caught up in the past or future that we fail to appreciate what is happening right now. Gratitude helps us reconnect with the present, fostering a deeper sense of mindfulness and awareness. By focusing on what we have in the here and now, we can enjoy life more fully, without constantly striving for the next thing. Gratitude also plays a crucial role in building emotional resilience. Life is full of challenges, and it's easy to become discouraged when things don't go as planned. However, when we make a habit of practicing gratitude, we develop the ability to find meaning and silver linings even in difficult situations. Gratitude does not deny the existence of pain or difficulty, but it allows us to maintain a sense of perspective, knowing that even in adversity, there are things to be thankful for. Gratitude is a daily practice, not just a temporary feeling. By making gratitude a consistent part of our lives, we cultivate a mindset that appreciates life as it is, rather than constantly yearning for something more. As we embrace gratitude, we create a sense of inner peace and joy that no external circumstances can take away. This mindset, rooted in Stoic wisdom, leads to a more fulfilling and meaningful life, grounded in appreciation for what is rather than what could be. As we wrap up today's video on 10 things you must work on everyday Stoicism, I encourage you to start incorporating these principles into your daily routine. The Stoic habits we discussed, focusing on personal growth, practicing gratitude, and living with purpose, are powerful tools for building a life that's not only intentional, but also resilient and peaceful. Remember, it's the small, consistent actions you take each day that lead to meaningful change. So, what's one Stoic habit you're going to focus on today? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life for more tips on living with Stoic wisdom. Stay committed to your personal growth, and let's walk this journey together.